Hey, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're playing some more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last episode, we went through the class trial and we ended up in the bottom of the pit because we got found out guilty for murder that we did not do. At least we don't think we did. I don't think we did it, but something's definitely wrong. But Chihiro sacrificed its life again just to save us. So let's go ahead and get the fuck out of here. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which looks for take drink and which ones are all around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I declared to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep, uninterrupted. That was the only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but I think there's a full day had to have passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. So I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, from the sky wasn't signed. Not exactly. What the? Strange sound pierced as the sound isolated, jarred awake, woke me. As I watched a pile of garbage jostle from the form of an odd shade. Something fall down here? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Oh, there's a pile of trash. A giant piece of trash just fell down here. Really stretching out my hand towards whatever it was. Coming down from here.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of grass, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
You have some copper ramen over your head. Kyoko.
Indeed.
You look, you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash that faced me again.
Hey.
First, I got something for you. Go ahead and eat. We can talk about that when you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water, what she was holding out for me. Then seconds was not enough, making it way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep me going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's such a bad thing to be good at. Well, Kyoko, why'd you come here to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone.
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I was.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive. Why'd you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I had to survive.
In other words...
So that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to go to Houston for one very important reason. So you have a reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. So recently I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what purpose was. No memory. That's impossible.
Huh?
Amnesia. Then, it's really true. You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I know a strange feeling of separation within myself, of disconnect.
It would seem...
Think back on it now. At that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school. I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would have made you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But how would they want to do? Why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I could come up with, because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plan. So the Mastermind just stole them from you.
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories are connected. Maybe connected to this mystery of the school and the Mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did, we all worked at one. The Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. Since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind, one of us. If she believes that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it will make sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was only what I could do by myself, so I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be a mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even though I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. Think that's just her personality. That door's still locked? Right, talk to Kyoko. Okay, so just still talking. I don't know why I kicked us out then. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
And there's still a lot I don't remember, but at least the very least. That's finally called my purpose, my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known from me. I'm the ultimate detective. I fucking called it. Ultimate detective.
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope Peak Academy was there's someone I had to find here in the school. I had to find someone who,
So,
well, was a headmaster of Hope Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why'd you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child, and it turns out he's become the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster.
no matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point. When he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose of coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want you to make this perfectly clear. There's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that what I felt based on what I've seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was has been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entire Hope Peak Academy. Found in the headmaster's room along with the Makoto's profile and that key. That map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for the faculty use. Some of the staff must have stayed overnight from time to time. I figure the headmaster would have had some kind of private room there. I'm sure that if they were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like, that part of the school? I mean, it's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than I ever imagined. What do you mean?
so,
You can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important and really ominous.
However,
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorm, there's no cameras or monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on. It had to do with Mokuro Ikusawa, right?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... But you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mokuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed.
indeed,
I stole the key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
correct.
And the point of the class trial was the mastermind knew they couldn't run fair directly because of the school regulations.
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is admitted about following the rules. With that rule in place, they couldn't step in. So they couldn't kill me themselves. They tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by those rule regulations.
hey,
There's one thing I like to point out about the murder of Mokuro Ikusawa. What's that? There's a point where Mokuro may not become the victim. Could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
indeed,
You know what I'm talking about, right? So you mean... Whatever. Got this. During that night,
I
came here. I could hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
anyway,
Which is exactly what happened to you. I was in the dorms, I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, saw a white shadow cross the corridor. Gave chase right away as I followed. I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room, I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised in the dojo key wound up in my room. Also be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So this would mean that whoever killed Mokuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed,
I didn't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. That means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
correct.
You're right. This is a contradiction. It's just not Makoto. You need the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything it did is contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto,
Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity, the identity of the other ultimate despair, the other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mokuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
indeed,
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. You're talking about
that's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. A tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that for, they're the ultimate
It
despair.
would seem
That despicable group who only purpose and motivation came from despair, and they're
indeed,
making a mistake. They're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is a real enemy. That's the end of chapter 5. I don't know how long this was gonna take, so I just decided to do it like this. To be continued, yada yada yada. I should probably could have continued on if I knew it was gonna be like this. Anyway, you received the Dream Island rockets. Anyway, continuing on. The ultimate despair, a group of people caused the tragedy 1 year ago. The same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's joy, and indeed, our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story will come after. Yeah, you're right. It's locked, bud. We have a way to open this door now. So, do you still have the one thing? Become a secret tool that guy from the headmaster?
Indeed.
Of course you do. This is absolutely valid part of the scenario that I'm asking. I'll never. You can open the door to any soul, in the door in the soul, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use to get to the door, right? Alright, let's go. Kyoko can use the key on this door too, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Took out the key with the more design on it, slid into the keyhole, and then yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally, we were finally free, but there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There's a metal ladder leading up to the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The patch was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing if you slip. I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will keep my nerves of it. So Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. You said you said you're the ultimate detective, right? So long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come along a line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always been seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride.
Indeed.
Detectives neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things. All to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we make an inclusive effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But in our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our soul of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, I was looking at everything about school, and I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to help peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I didn't know it was something a true Kiragari detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect. I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you would be reuniting after all those years, right? You had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument when I was young, and he left me behind. I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank you for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in the family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I would never had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
There's one thing I can never forgive. Really.
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow's been following me by my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of this shadow.
correct.
That's why I have the effort to find him and tell him we're no longer family, in order to settle for the past, in order to remove him from the life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart, soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, nor by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say that. I didn't know how to respond, so instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. It looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of the door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? Barely turned this where it comes out. I locked it earlier, so it should be open without much trouble. Oh, here goes nothing. Flash ran right up and pushed against the hatch. Batch opened with ease, and so? Looks like we're back.
Whew.
I can't believe how long that ladder was. Exhausted. Can't like say we're safe and sound, but at least we're safe out of here. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never gotten out of there if it wasn't for that. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So you got to the garbage pit. I never imagined this is where it led. So now what do? I'm glad you didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried. Yeah, of course.
So then,
And let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other
What's
words,
that small community a problem with you escaping? Wait, pets.
however,
Try to hide. It's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away. She said that. She pointed to a nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over being caught, we should just give up now. Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
because
The mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. He said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makoto's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. Us?
right.
Talk to Mokumo, we can confirm it. It would be better for us if we talk to him directly before he tracks us down. Let's shut up with our negotiation. Still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have much of a choice, do we?
Indeed.
One of us should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Alright, to the gym then. I'm back, bitches!
Well now.
Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I
But
don't
Makoto's supposed to be dead.
believe
What's he
it.
doing here? Is he exactly how I thought he would react? Are we really gonna be okay?
Boom,
You
boom,
were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What would you do?
shing.
Guilty parties exposed during the first trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but it is a rule. So I gotta punish you
Making
again.
me
And this time, I won't leave
angry.
anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
Before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
You
if
execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to me, too,
Huh?
right? Huh? I lose?
Hey,
You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Huh? You set up the latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial wasn't all that you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person could protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and tried to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there's another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, just so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being that you come to an aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makoto. You did.
Listen to me.
So, executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the glycan is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. It took a big game. You're saying the glycan is me, not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well.
No, I can't. Just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? You make such a bold claims without a snare of evidence.
That doesn't
I
matter.
don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to blur it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
Makoto really was a killer. He never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so to inspire.
however,
But we were confronted, but when we are confronting you was nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in this absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there thinking of you if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because of what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can just say we're making this all up and you're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makoto's trial over again. Only this time you follow school regulation to assure a fair trial.
It's time for one last
It's
showdown.
time for a last showdown.
One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
That would make for a fine, proper climax, wouldn't you say? Fair trial, one last showdown, in other words. To be a chance to explore the true identity of Makoto's killer, the mastermind himself. What reason would the mastermind have to accept this challenge? They'd probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Very.
What's wrong?
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So it's time for a bear joke. Now you just might be plausible. I would certainly make jokes for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You
If
guys!
we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? Because you're unbearable, fuck, I was trying to, unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely
Let's
contain
have one final
myself!
grisly showdown. You agreed. We have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Just gets the killer is barely outfitting.
You guys!
For this final phase, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries. That's right. Every last mystery that falls around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
then
contain
that'll be enough
myself!
for qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been wanting to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then that's bare all. You can call your way to the truth in Mokuro's death and solve the mystery of the school.
You guys!
Then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? When you're excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we uncover every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I just can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
Before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when the class trial is held.
What's
I
wrong?
remember that for sure. What?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that is a true statement. You don't have to be suspicious. I said it before, but it bears repeating it. Everything is based on the school regulations. And after our trial for Mokuro, there's no exception to that. Huh? Mokuro's trial is no exception. Then that's part of the regulations. I mean, whoever killed Mokuro. It's a very polarizing approach. I know. Okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game begins with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And no one could take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began. Are those 16 students? What?
Listen,
Are you telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad?
whew,
Seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay. I'm going. Are you gonna let me go? Huh, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna get punished later anyways. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
hey,
Come on, Dakota, let's go. Okay. Let's go. Falling. Readjusting my chair. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as he walked away. Just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. So my life, and we still have a chance. Overall, things turned out the way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything you have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't think we just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
Still, I'm glad it worked out. I'm not sure if the enemy will accept my proposal. But honestly, what made the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from our final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept.
because,
It's not because of that one moment the mastermind said the mastermind let the guard down. So when was the mastermind let the guard down? I
so,
wasn't there to hear it myself. But do you remember when the mastermind said? They said that they hijacked the airways to broadcast our school's life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happens very often. It's so hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But I think of it another way. They must have some reason they had to do something so that difficult reasons.
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would
The
seem,
mastermind was very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And their rule and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. Those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the student of Hope Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink in despair, the mastermind wants the world to see us try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal. That's the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope. But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
That's right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody, well, those who call themselves the ultimate despair would despise. The group that only want purpose to motivate comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet the same motivation is what led the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has more particular than original about their own regulations. The mastermind simply ignored their rules. This wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who watch this have seen it. That's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they can lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial to follow the proper rules to get me killed. To begin a trial that didn't even have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thank you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you and said who was not the killer. When the fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove that the world of despair is better than hope, they had to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have shown up that they violate their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And if we're still able to get the mastermind to accept our challenge.
However,
Well, it's only thanks to you, and we were able to get that chance because you leaving me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's thought and plans you were able to figure out. I have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
Looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell if you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment you decided to go talk to him. We're pressing a strong demeanor and a fundamental part of the negotiating and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Well, if I had shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. Pathetic.
However,
Anyway, you can't just relax yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through would have been for nothing. You're right. We can't defeat the mastermind. It will cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
Before we begin our final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True. But now we know who our real enemy is. And we have to do it. Work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
Probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Yeah, sure. To the dorms we go. This way. This way. Spare hotel. Hello. Actually, it's just... I'll leave in this cave. Kyoko. Kyoko. Kyoko, where the fuck are you? She just like with me? Let's go talk to probably Boyakiwa. The fuck is his room? It's actually right here. Right, yep. This Byaku's room, is he inside?
Hey,
Don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep moving. Toko then, I guess is next. Let's talk from the street side.
hey,
Are they like in the fucking dining hall then? Let's go check the dining hall. And something we're greeted with. Ah, you again. Is he broken?
whew.
I suppose his motion is speed reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck? I
However,
don't know what that was all about. Couldn't help but the loud sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Shut up, Byakuya.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw the races, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
What's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like what dog? Get away. Shoo. Shoo. In a flash, my tears dried up. Oh, poor Makoto.
Makoto,
There's no point to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain everyone's happening to Makoto.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But it's okay with that you're here. What if the mastermind catches you?
it's true.
That's really what I can tell you. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
In other
We're
words,
going to redo Makoto's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you.
Huh?
And who is it?
I see.
She's saying it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makoto?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop
However,
it. But his decision meant he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
Spotted the trap? Did you, Miss Koto? Made it sound like it was easy and just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blacken, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blacken is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rule. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
The mastermind agreed? Does that mean they'll really break the rule? They had no choice but to agree. Use the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what she said at the end of the last trial. We said now it's the mastermind that's snared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makoto, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? Well, there's more to that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we must solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery?
But
Well, we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You probably already guessed. You probably all guessed already. But if you lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh,
Everyone?
I
Hey,
hate
who said
you.
you agreed to those terms without talking to the rest of us? Everyone thinks the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with Master. I mean, well, I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. Rather interesting development, I'd say.
but
Figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makoto. All that school's mysteries. Pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. And if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. Not sure about that. Huh?
I
can't agree with that anymore. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too at first. Until Monokuma gave us a little hint of his hint. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but enough puns, I'll give you a hint. Yeah, killing game. That's
I see.
Monokuma said that, didn't he? And the Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So, in other
The
words,
mastermind really is the one who killed Makoto, as Kyoko says. The mastermind would have set foot in the school. Monokuma could probably murder Makoto, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
According to Monokuma, the only person who had to set foot in Hope's Peak. Other 16 students have taken part in the killing game. The mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. And then, Makoto, you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
that's right.
One of those 60 people we started out with, when only one still alive. The people standing right here, I need to continue. Or the people standing right here. Now, you gonna continue, or do you get it now?
What?
You're saying the mastermind's one of us?
no
You
way!
can't be serious. Wait, can't say that for true just yet. Mokuma might just have said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly possible, but there's only one among many. The mastermind began one of us also as possibility. That is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, the ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, something must be a high schooler. Can't say it's not possible. But if one of us is the mastermind, they'll have to be controlling Mokuma someone, right? Would you see anyone acting suspicious and Mokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are. We wouldn't notice someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right,
Maybe
right?
Mokuma was an autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and acted beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, I wouldn't be entirely possible. If they direct the flow of the conversation, well, maybe still. But,
This is a school announcement. You've all probably, at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then,
Hmm?
How very monogamous if you don't unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
Time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyways.
In the name of my
At
family.
this point, I can only rely on myself. The Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then, after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. But, Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? But not Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream. Coffee. Totally useless. So bye. That Toko trudged off to the dining hall. Now she's gone. You're gonna go by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about
Just
that?
wait and see. I'm gonna use my total awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not like I don't trust anyone, you know?
cause, I
But
mean,
up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Huh?
Makoto. It's really nice of you to say.
but,
Still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So, figured, at least here to the end, maybe I can find something that help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it on my own. Okay, see you later. In a surprisingly high spirit, she dashed out of the dining hall. Once again, just us two.
Indeed.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and probably start the investigation to next video. So I know this video is kind of shorter, but that's fine by me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, why not hit the like and subscribe button down below. It means a whole hell of a lot, and it means you enjoy my shitty ass content. All my social medias are down in the description below. If you so want to go check those out, it'll be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next video. This is PC, signing off. Bye bye.